Yo, people, it's your boy Torch. Welcome to the press conference, which is hosted by Big Ego Media. I am here with Isaac.
Yeah, I'm Isaac. I support Chelsea. First episode. I'm excited to see where this goes.
And I'm here to the left of me is Rommel.
My name is Rommel, big Liverpool fan. And yeah, let's get started.
Let's get straight into it, guys. We're going to talk about the Premier League's weekend results and also a little bit of Championship. So get in the comments from now and let us know what Championship players you want us to talk about starting from the next episode, which will be obviously episode 2. Breaking news, Claudio Ranieri's been sacked by Watford. Isaac, thought like you had something to say there. Go on. Do you want to...
Watford, obviously supporting Chelsea, I see how Watford, they're trying to do what Chelsea do with in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I don't know, it's just... it's not working what they're doing. I don't know. I think maybe because Watford haven't got the type of money that Chelsea have, where they're being so ruthless, it's like they're sort of running out of all these gaffers. And I don't see where it's gonna turn good for Watford. To be honest, I can't see it.
To be honest, I'll be honest. I always thought the Claudio Ranieri appointment from the get-go was, I didn't think it was a bad appointment. I just never saw him as the guy to bring them to safety. And you're looking at it now, and then you're looking at Dean Smith. I've never rated Dean Smith, but everyone's saying Norwich is down and out. Norwich have done all right. Sargent scored a banger. Doesn't really score goals, but that flick, boy, if that was Giroud, people would be talking about it for weeks. What do you not think about Norwich? Do you think is there any chance they could start? Because everybody's writing them off.
I think, just to go back and touch on Watford, I believe that Ranieri was the right appointment. I think with his Premier League experience, winning the league with Leicester, his time with Chelsea, I thought he would just about keep Watford up. But especially after the 4-1 win against United, I thought he would galvanise the team. But the last couple of weeks, and I think the decline of Dennis, it's not really helped them.
So let's speak about that, because one of my friends was in the comments on a post on the Big Ego Sports Instagram page. If you guys don't already, make sure you follow that on Instagram.
Yeah, go follow that.
He said that it's Ranieri's fault and he needs to go see a witch doctor, because him not letting Dennis go to African Cup of Nations for Nigeria, ever since then he scored 0 goals and 0 assists. Don't really want to get into politics too much, but do you guys think that was more Dennis's decision? Do you think that was Nigeria's decision? Do you think that was Watford's, Ranieri's decision? Do you think that's ultimately come back to haunt him?
God, I don't know. If I was these players, especially Dennis, he's centre forward, right? Yeah,
wingers are centre forward. But
okay,
yeah, does a bit of both.
I don't know, if you're picking up the type of form that he was in the Prem, going away, it could mess it up. Like, okay, Lukaku, for example, I know it's a bit off subject, but in the Euros for Belgium, he was smashing it. And then he got that big move at Chelsea, and then obviously nothing's really come to that. So Dennis, I don't know, because some players, it can go well if you go off to a tournament and you kick on form, but maybe because it's his first little offspring in the Prem. Like, I don't know, maybe he was afraid he might play it safe, and I don't know. Yeah,
I believe it was a bit of both. I think Watford did hold back the decision, but I truly believe if he really wanted to go within himself, he would have went.
Yeah.
So I think it was both parties at the end of the day.
I can't lie, for me, I think he should have gone. Obviously, it's one of them ones where you know the club's been in his ear. Like, Watford are that kind of club. They don't really hold back. Like, they will tell a man, they'll sack a manager and they'll tell you, listen, we need you for this relegation fight. So you've got to stay. But for me, going to represent my country, and especially all the slander people are giving on the Africa Cup of Nations, why is it in January? It's not a serious competition. For me, if I was Dennis, I would have pushed the go. But that's just me.
Why do you think, like, the media, yes, I see with the Afcon, I see all the clips on Sky, and they're making it to perceive like it's a little bit of a joke tournament where, like, see, all the clips, they're not actually showing like the good football. They're always showing these little funny wigs. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's right. Like, especially compared to the Euros, World Cup, the coverage seems it's a whole different perspective on the Afcon for some reason.
Do you know what? I agree with you, but then to a certain extent, when I look at it, that's the kind of content that's out there. When you look at the Euros and that, and excuse me, I don't want anyone to take this offensive, but when you look at culture in the changing rooms, I don't really see that. Like, sometimes on a match day, you might see, I don't know, I'll give you an example. James Maddison, the time that Leicester beat Liverpool, and he recorded, I think it was Luke Thomas in the changing room. He was like, you locked down Salah for the whole game. You got him in his pocket, empty out your pocket, Salah's there. That's about as most cultural as it gets in the Premier League. Yeah. Whereas Afcon, you saw today, I can't remember the team's name, so I'm not going to name them. Whoever beat Nigeria, they were dancing with Nigerian music. In the, like, that's Tunisia, proper culture. Yeah. So it's like Sky Sports can only, to a certain extent, upload that kind of content, but I do I do see what you're saying because
It was
it's not.
Tunisia, I think.
It was Tunisia.
Yeah.
I feel with the Afcon, I just feel it's so disrespected within the media. One thing I will say, it doesn't help that it's during the season, but
That just gives people an excuse.
yeah, but we already know that at the start of the season, so you still need to, especially I think Sky secured the deal, it would give it more exposure. I feel like these, and even when sometimes the Sky Sports News, when you're seeing the highlights and whatnot, they're not delving in. And the fact that they don't have a studio, there's a lot of African legends that have played in the Prem, SCN, Drogba, etc. They would love to be in the studio, and the fact they don't even put them in the studio. And at the start of the tournament, they had one commentator for the games. I think that's shocking. I honestly think that's shocking.
It's a bit of both though, because obviously it's definitely true. Like the media took it and ran, but I think generally the quality, I think it's fair to say, it's generally lower, no? Or do you think it's the same as the Euros?
I wouldn't compare it to the Euros. I'd more compare it. If you're going to compare it, you've got to compare it to Copa America. And
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
boy, oh God, that's a debate for a show. Like, which one has got the high quality players, Copa America or thingy? But no, let's move on. Don't want to say too much on Afcon. Do you guys want to talk about the next Premier League game, or should we go straight onto the strikers? How you guys feeling?
Let's move on to the strikers because, I mean, as a Chelsea fan, Lukaku, he's not cutting it at the moment, to be honest. Wait, who do you support? Liverpool. So obviously you got Salah at the Afcon, both you Liverpool. So yeah,
our main goal scorer right now is Jota. But you know what my thing is with Lukaku, and I feel so sorry for him because I always look at it and I say, no one feeds him the ball. Like, people can talk about, they should sling balls into the box. That's not my problem with Lukaku. Yeah, he can score headers, but why don't you just give it to his feet? I really think if Chelsea played 1 and 2 touch football in and around the box, playing the ball to Lukaku, playing them little flicks on with Mount, because that's the kind of players you have. You ain't like Liverpool. You ain't got players that want to run in behind. But whatever team Lukaku's played for, even the Man United team, it seems like it's all stiff and nobody actually wants to give him the ball and say, listen, we back your footballing ability. Whereas Inter, run down the channel and hold the ball up, do a little bit of everything. And that's, for me, what Lukaku's best at. You saw it at Everton, you saw it at West Brom. Give him a little bit of everything to do, he's all right. Tell him to just be a target man and bully Van Dijk and Joel Matip. It's not happening.
Did you not see? I mean, it's really pissed me off. I saw every club he went to, he kissed the badge. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So every club he goes to, and I watched, I think Chelsea Zenit. I was there live, and I see all the passion, and I just think it's all act because, I don't believe his passion for the club, because especially after his comments that he said, all that stuff.
That didn't help at all.
See, that's blown over now. But it's just, when I see every club is kissing the badge, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me. Lukaku's his attitude, I don't know.
Do you know what it is? He's one of the players I always hated in the media. So when he's doing them little kisses on the badge, it's probably just to boost his image, because he's never gonna be one of them. Like, you see how everyone loves Kante. Lukaku's never gonna get that treatment, and you kind of feel sorry for him in a way because he's not like a Mario Balotelli. He hasn't got a bad boy history apart from the Inter Milan debacle. Now, when has Lukaku ever spoke out in the media? Correct me if I'm wrong, innit? I haven't followed his whole career, but I always, players like him, I do feel sorry for him, and I feel like they get a very, very harsh treatment from the media. And
what other strikers are there that are underperforming? There's Lukaku,
Harry Kane. CR7 in my opinion.
No one speaks about. I don't think CR7 is underperforming. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if you guys want to agree or disagree, but I'm not hearing Ronaldo's not performing this season.
What do you lot think of? I see a lot of United fans talking about how they reckon that do you think Ronaldo is an added bonus to the team, or do you think he's taken away? Because I see people talking about the press, all these kind of things.
Even though I feel he's underperformed, he's not taking it. Listen, he just has that winning mentality, and he just makes others around him feel uncomfortable because they can't rise to his level. This is the problem. But I do feel some United fans say he's been pressing. When I've seen him, he's pressed when he's had to, but it's not natural to him. So in a system, Rangnick wants to play, and Oli to a degree, the gegenpress it's been more like another type of press, but
Sean Dyche.
but the system he wants to play, you all have to galvanize, you have to give in to that
I know what you mean.
pressing system, and if one person doesn't do it, the whole thing breaks down. And
I agree with that still.
Yeah, I personally think, I do feel he's underperforming. Him, Kane, Lukaku, for what they got brought in for, all three of them.
You can't include CR7 in that list.
I feel you can. It might be a bit biased, but I feel you can.
On what you said in terms of the pressing as well. I'm sorry, guys. I genuinely believe that Ronaldo doesn't press. I think that's a myth. I've watched United enough times this season, and I've seen him. Don't get me wrong, he's not Bobby Firmino. He doesn't run. He's not Danny Ings. He won't run down every single ball, but I've seen him press. And another thing with the Ronaldo thing, it's almost like Lukaku. I don't see them play. Forget playing to his strengths. I just don't see them feed him the ball. And it goes back to there's murmurings in the media. You got United players coming out saying stuff, and apparently, obviously, don't know this for true, but the rumours are that it's players like Dean Henderson, the players that aren't playing, and then you wonder why did United get him back from Sheffield United if they're not going to actually let him rival De Gea? And them little weak decisions there, and then it affects the whole change room. For me, I do think Ronaldo was the right move. I just don't think the players around him have the right mentality to facilitate him. Whereas Real Madrid, as they said many times, Sergio Ramos was the guy talking, Ronaldo led on the pitch. Who the hell was talking in that Man United change room? If it's Maguire, I'm not listening. Like, you know, I don't rate Maguire. I don't know about you. I've never rated Harry Maguire. So if Harry Maguire is your captain and he's telling you, come on, Ronaldo, I need more today, brother, I'll look at you like, who are you, bro? Like, world's most expensive, I skin you every day in training, allow me, bro. Like, it's long, but Ronaldo, Lukaku, I feel sorry for. Kane, one of my favourite strikers ever. Poor season. You ain't getting no sympathy.
Can I quickly jump in?
100%.
I'll jump in on the Lukaku thing quickly. I agree with what you're saying to a certain extent. I've seen Chelsea on the counter, or Chelsea give Lukaku the ball to his feet, and he's been the one to make the counter break down. And I've seen that many times. I think you would even say, as a Chelsea fan, that's happened countless games. So I do agree with you. Majority of the time, they're not playing to Lukaku's needs, but he has been the cause of his own downfall at times on the pitch, 100%.
Now, a team with no strikers, Man City. Like, do you think there's any stopping Man City? Like,
No.
They don't. We're talking about Kane, Lukaku, Ronaldo. Maybe it's debatable. All these strikers underperforming. Man City, top of the league. They got no strikers.
Do you know what my thing is though? Yeah. I always get salty with this, but I get everyone saying they ain't got no striker, but they're not the first team to do it. Like, I get it, but the hype that everyone gives them, they're not the first team to do it. But I take nothing away, because I said it on the stream last night, and I feel like people need to give Manchester City more credit where credit's due. Like, the trophies that they won, the football that they play.
It scares me, man.
It's absolutely, it's immense. Like, it's immense. Like, as a Liverpool fan, sometimes I feel like they're our main rivals because we've been battling for the last few years, but you have to give credit where credit's due.
There could be no stopping Man City. Like when I think about it, how they approach their football. Like, see Liverpool, there's an element of, like, there's an end-to-end element of it. But I see like, Man City is just so robotic. It's pass, across goal. Bernardo Silva comes in late in the box. It's a goal. Like, it's so boring, but it's so, like, effective. Well, I say at Liverpool, there's an entertainment factor to their football. But when I don't know, it's Man City. It scares me, like, about Man City.
Let's go on to Chelsea next. Obviously, you guys beat Tottenham 2-0 this weekend. But performances probably since the beginning of the year haven't really been convincing. Is this a turn, like, in form? Is it just, it's Tottenham, we always beat them at Stamford Bridge? How did you see this performance?
I mean, Ziyech's goal was wicked.
Yeah, oh my
God. What a goal.
On my life, I've had it on replay.
It was wicked.
The curl in the corner and the fan stand up, it's just it's perfect.
And then other goals from a set piece, no?
Thiago Silva, What a delivery by Mount, by the way.
How do you guys have so many defenders scoring?
Well,
is it just luck, or is it like...
That is the concern.
Like,
in that game, we played back four. We played a back four of Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Sarr left back, and Azpilicueta right back. But, like, the way we set it up was Sarr was a little bit more advanced. It was like kind of like a three in the back, but with, like, one fullback there. But, I mean, Chilwell is out for a long time. I don't know. I think Chilwell's out for ages, and Reece James is just and Reece James is just coming back. So I do think we could kick on, but, like, when I say kick on, I think, I don't know, second, third, maybe. But I think City ran away with it. I think it's gone.
Yeah.
Do you are you scared for top four at all? Like, do you?
No, not yet. No. If I was Man United, I would be, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who did United play again this weekend? They won
against West Ham last minute. Fergie.
It was Rashford.
1-0. West Ham. Rashford scored last minute.
Yeah.
That game could have gone either way. You know, it could have been a draw. It could have been 1-0 to West Ham. Bowen's been on terrific form this season for West Ham, but for United, what are we saying about United this season, man? Like,
listen, when they signed Ronaldo,
and let's not try to be too Liverpool.
No. I'm gonna be. I'll put it
the other way a little bit.
I'll just be honest. When they signed Ronaldo, it kills me because I don't like United, but I had them as contenders. I said
Varane as well. Yeah, you got to mention him as well.
I had them as contenders. Like you said, Sancho, one of the most world-class players from the last 2-3 years, high in assists and everything. Varane, he's won everything there is to win. And Ronaldo, arguably one of the best players to ever touch the game. And so when they signed them 3 signs, I thought the league is possibly theirs. Listen, for the caliber of player they have, they're underachieving massively. And the fact we're even speaking about them battling for 4th, it's a joke. It's a joke.
But are we putting that down to their midfield? Because I always say this, and I don't think it gets enough attention. You can't expect to win anything with Scott McTominay and Fred. Like, I can't lie, the other day, the assist that he did, who was it, Fred to Elanga, it was absolutely big. Fizzed the ball into him. Elanga took a heavy touch, somehow it went up in the air and he headed it over the goalkeeper. Beautiful goal, but I just look at that midfield and I say, cool, we've looked at Donny van de Beek and everybody, that's not even United fan, including United fans, been saying Donny van de Beek should get a chance to play in the
100%.
He's had, 3 managers this season and only one of them's played him in 1 game and he didn't pull up any trees. He's had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, didn't play him. He's had Michael Carrick, I think he played him in 1 game and I don't even think he started, but correct me if I'm wrong. And now he's had Ralph Rangnick and he doesn't start at all. So I'm looking at it and saying, what Man United need is a midfielder. But then if I'm that Man United board, why would I go out and spend any more money when I don't even know if Ralph Rangnick's going to be my full-time manager or board staff, who we're going to sign? Like, it's just it's all messed up.
What's happening with Van der Beek? Is he going to go or is he going to stay this window? Because if I was him, I'm gone. First play.
Yeah, it's been a waste of a season.
Anywhere.
Would you go Newcastle if you was Van der Beek? Because I would. I think that's the best move for him. Right?
If I was Lingard, I would.
You know why I'd leave if I was Van der Beek as well? You need to remember, it's a World Cup year. The World Cup's it's in winter this year. Exactly. He needs to leave. He needs to leave because there's no guarantees that.
Sorry for Van der Beek.
I think everyone feels sorry for Van der Beek. He's one of them players like
he's class. I rate him highly. What he was doing for Ajax in that campaign, it was unbelievable. He's class. And
do you not think because I always remember back to that video, right? So and this is so rare in football. So you had Donny van der Beek, right? And he went on a podcast with Rio Ferdinand and 2 other
United, I saw that.
Stephen House, I can't remember their names off my head, but he basically went on there and he basically said, like, don't get me wrong, I played number 10 before, but I would much rather in this Man United team, my position is number 6 as one of them 2 midfielders. Like, my guy Ruben Neves, man, put some respect on his name. People don't understand Ruben Neves' story. Yeah, my man left. Who was it? One of the Portuguese teams. I don't know if it was Porto or Sporting Lisbon or whoever. Porto. He left Porto. Yeah,
they're Sporting are rubbish.
Went to Wolves in the Championship. People saying he's doing it for the money, rare tear at the time. But one thing he's always had is them long range shots. I don't know if it's still a statistic, but for there was a crazy statistic that he's never scored a goal inside the box in his football career. Like he's only ever scored goals outside the box.
I remember that stat.
How old is he? Do you know how old he is roughly?
He's under 26.
Has to be, has to be under 26 because I don't think he's touched his prime yet at all. You know what it is? He had a dip, right? And I always say to people, you never lose class. That you can lose your form a bit, but you could.
The managers weren't playing him, and I think again that was politics because the moment the new manager come in, he saw his quality and he was back in the squad.
Yeah.
And you got to give credit to Bruno Lage as well because at the beginning of the season, we all know Wolves were playing. They were playing better football now at the beginning of the season than they are now. They just weren't scoring goals or turning it into wins.
They weren't getting the results.
Down at the bottom, started doing their thing.
You know, I think it's a big miss for them as well, and I had him on par with Rafinha. They were just both on the up, but Pedro Neto.
I don't know why. Like, I know you rate him and say my Pedro's, but you can't put him in that Rafinha level, bro. You can't.
No, you need to remember that no recency bias. When they were both ripping it up, they were both around the same level. That all the big clubs, it was either Rafinha or Neto.
You see Rafinha, he's I know Bamford's hard and Click and whoever else is in that Leeds team. Like, I actually rate Leeds, but Rafinha, he carries it. But Rafinha's like he's different.
Neto was doing the same.
The ball, it's a different kind of when Neto. Like,
Isaac, do you remember? Yeah, when I think it was one of Lampard's last games, and you went to Molyneux, and didn't he clutch it last minute? He scored an amazing goal. That game from start to finish.
Who's the best footballer?
I know. I think Rafinha is, but I just think Neto is as good when he comes back from an injury and he actually reminds you how good he is.
No, bro, don't get me wrong. Like, you're not the only person that said this. Like, quite a few people have said it to me, but I just haven't seen it. Like, I look at Traore and I say, bro, that is talent. Like,
your obsession with Traore. I don't understand.
Confirmed today, he's going to he's average.
Yeah, he is.
I tried to tell him.
I'm gonna ask you the same thing I asked Rommel. If he can score an assist, is he or is he not one of the best football players in the world?
Yeah, but he hasn't been scoring assists.
Exactly. You can't say
if he adds that into his game, is he not one of the best football players in the world?
Yeah, I think he gets away because he's so wedge. he's so wedged and he's so quick.
Baby oil.
And he's agile.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that mix, and I always say, people say the hardest thing in football is scoring goals. I agree, but another hard thing that people don't talk about is beating your man 1-on-1.
No, I agree with you on that
does that
aspect.
with
It's like a mess when I watch him. He looks like his, I don't know.
But then what my problem with him is, he does that, then his decision making is that the end product's not good. His cross will go into the stands. That's my only.
But imagine him in that Chelsea team playing as a right winger now, and he knows
He's
every
got-
single
he's
time.
nowhere near the Chelsea team.
Hear me out. He knows every single time he skins someone who's in the box waiting for the tackle. There you go. Imagine that. All you got to do is give Traore the ball and Lukaku wait in the box. It's disgusting.
Yeah, but cool.
It's a cheat
Is
code.
his delivery enough to even get it to the
Yeah,
car?
but he's that good that he could go through so many players that he just lays it on a plate. I genuinely think he's that good.
Fair,
He reminds me of
fair.
St. Maximin. Like, they're the only two players in the Prem right now that you tell me give them a ball and they'll skin anyone. That for me is what not what football's about, but that's
It gets
talent,
you off
innit?
your seat. It's what you want to see. I know what you mean.
The
I know
eye
what you
test
mean.
is important as well, isn't it?
But back to Wolves. I think Bruno Lage has done an excellent job. I think they're unbeaten in I think it's 6+ games. I might be wrong, but they went on a little. I think they're still on the unbeaten run, if I remember rightly. But
Yeah, they didn't lose against
since he's come in, he just steadied them because, like you said, they weren't turning the performances into points. Now they are. They're getting the points and whatnot. But big up Wolves, man. I like their model and whatnot, and that just Portuguese heritage. And I like it.
What were we saying about Brentford? I think that's no win in 3 or 4. Obviously, every time a promoted team comes
think
up, they
they're
have
gone,
a
yeah.
dip. You think they're gone?
Yeah, I think they're gone.
What, gonna get relegated or
Yeah,
gone?
relegation.
Do you know?
You're
I
lying,
would
bro.
say
You're
how
joking.
long?
You gotta be joking.
How long is
Joking.
Raya out for?
No.
How long is Raya out for? Because the minute he got injured, he's Spanish, so good at his feet. The minute he got injured, he's so good at distributing. He would turn attack into a defense into attack like that. The minute he got injured, I started to see them drawing, losing. I think they went like 6 games without winning. I think he was integral to their good start. Their keeper. I honestly believe that.
They were the better team against United in that first half. Throughout not most of the game, but for large parts of the game. I feel like they've been unlucky in their last 3 games. I think if it goes to 4 or 5 games, start to worry for them. If they could draw or win their next, if they can at least draw or win one of their next 2 games, they'll be alright.
Because Thomas Frank signed an extension today till 2025. And Ericsson, they're going to probably tie it down before in the next 48 hours or
He signed a
so.
new deal today, and obviously Traore's £20 million moves to Tottenham is more or less complete, and I think that's scary, guys, man.
I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Remember Victor Moses and right wing back for Antonio. So now imagine
No,
another
it
Traore.
can-
There's a big difference.
It can run.
Moses and Traore. Come on, bro. Come on. Who would you rather as your right wing back? Because you already had Moses. Imagine Traore.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's disgusting.
He's a bit one-dimensional. I thought Traore, he's a bit run cross, but he's effective at that. But I don't know.
No, don't get me wrong. No. Let me not sit here and tell you that his end product is anywhere near good
Yeah.
enough. It's absolutely shocking. Let me get that out because maybe I made too much of a strong case for him. His end product is absolutely terrible. But I think with the right coaching, he can be one of the best players in the world. I genuinely believe. Same thing with St. Maximin. With the right coaching, they could both be one of the best players in the world.
I think we got now the last game of this week, the Arsenal, Burnley.
I've got a question for both of you about this Arsenal team, right? And I'll give you my take on it after. Do you think if they now don't get top 4, it's a bad season for them? I want to know both your views.
Do you want to go first, Isaac?
No, of course it isn't. Arsenal, Arsenal. I hate Arsenal. Like for me, like who's your number 1 team that you? Because for me, Arsenal. Obviously, hate a strong word, but I dislike Arsenal the most.
Mine's
And
United.
All my friends at Arsenal, where I live, Arsenal. Yeah, they're all texting me like he's like, I support Reading now. They've changed. They've jumped boat now. What's Arteta doing? He's playing Thomas Partey. He's from Africa off the plane. He's off the plane.
He landed at midday and straight
into the Emirates. Coached to the Emirates from Heathrow. That's what Arteta's doing.
You know. My thing is with Arsenal. Yeah, is I said it at the beginning of the season. After the first 3 games, I would have sacked Mikel personally. And after that, it wasn't really convincing, but they was getting results. Now I would say up until that Man City game, even that Man City game, terrific football. I actually believe he turned the corner, and I said, you know what? I eat my words. Arsenal, they're going to be a top 4 team this year. Like, this is me who I don't have no personal agenda against Arsenal. I just don't think they're good. I literally just don't think they're good. Yeah. Now I look at it, Burnley, they should have scored, and that reminded me of prime Arsenal under Wenger. That 1 and 2 touch football 3 or 4 times. They had so many clear opportunities. Ball bouncing around, they're recycling possession, and I was like, yeah, man, this Arsenal team's back. They're going to get a 1-0 win today, and they're going to keep it going. But especially after the Liverpool performance as well. The 0-0 at Anfield, like when did they ever do that? But they're not convincing enough. I thought the midfield was a problem. It is, but then the striker issue, like I said, I don't like him. I used to, but I always thought, in this new look Arsenal team with the kind of number 10 / midfielders that they have / wingers, whatever you want to call, like the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe and Odegaard, because they can do a little bit of everything. I thought, this is the perfect one for him. He can drop deep, he can play off them, and then eventually build up and get himself in the box. But like you said, when you told me on the stream last night, it was harder for him to miss than to score.
Oh, that miss!
Bro,
do you know what it is?
It was such a beautiful move as well.
It's literally harder to miss than score. You know what it is with Arsenal, right? They're probably the second team I watch the most after Liverpool. My household's Arsenal. Most of my friends support Arsenal, right? And I agree with certain things you're saying, as in, I personally would have sacked Arteta after the first 3 games as well. But football is about longevity, and he brought stability back to Arsenal. Let's be honest, Arsenal's main thing, even after Wenger and that, their attacking, that's never really been a problem. They've never had a stable back four. Arteta has finally brought that in. Tomiyasu, Tierney, Gabriel, White and Ramsdale. That 5 is a solid foundation. And my thing is, in a season, your expectations will change as the season develops, because you might go on a run of good form, bad form. I think if Arsenal, I said start the season, top 6 would have been perfect for them. From what they've come from, their squad, let's be real, at the start of the season, you wouldn't have said they're as good as Leicester, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, City, I might probably even West Ham. So that puts them around 6 or 7. But even Tottenham.
Sit there and argue it.
But my thing with them is now, if they don't get top 4, I think it's a disaster. Let me tell you why it's a disaster, right? Because they're playing 1 game a week now. They had no Europe. Remember when we didn't have no Europe? We went on a title run. Cool. Don't need to go into that, but we didn't end up winning. Went into a title run. Remember when you lot didn't have Europe under Conte, you won the league. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. If you don't have Europe, that 1 game a week, you have more time to prepare and whatnot. Now, let's say they don't get 4th this season, because I now think, looking at it, they won't. I think United are now favourites. Let's say they don't get 4th now. United are not going to be as bad as they are next season as they have been this season. Chelsea are going to get stronger. Roman, this will be the 5th he's not won the league. He's just going to want to strengthen. You never know with us in FSG. City are going to get stronger. If they do end up signing that number 9, boy, everyone's going to get stronger. So this is Arsenal's best chance to get 4. So at the start of the season, yes, top 6 would have been good, but as the season's developed and they got themselves into the top 4, top 4 has to now be priority for them. And if they don't get it, and I think Arsenal fans will agree, now the season's developed and they have a good chance to get top 4. If they don't, I think it's a disaster, man.
I do feel sorry for Arsenal fans, because you just look at it, and obviously everyone says it, their squad's just so young, and the thing is with young squads, is you're asking them
as a manager's terms.
There you go. You're asking the young players to do the hardest thing, and that's score goals on a consistent basis as well.
Literally.
So for Arsenal to get in the top 4, you're looking for Saka to have 8 to 10 goals in the Premier League.
Saka looks tired.
The thing is, there's only so much young players.
You're asking for Emil Smith-Rowe to get 5 to 10. That's difficult.
This was inevitable.
Like to score 10. That's not hard for him, but how many has he scored? Like, do you know
this was inevitable. Like, you can't ask ESR, Martinelli, Saka, all the young boys, and they've done so well, but you can't. It's inevitable that they're going to tail off. You can't set them at the age to carry them.
You know what upsets me about Arteta as well? That whole Aubameyang thing, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Like,
if they don't sign a striker, he has to get back in that team.
The thing is, a lot of people say that Aubameyang was meant to go to see his mum, innit? Because his mum went well. Everyone knows Aubameyang's mum went well, innit? And he told Arteta, and then Arteta's come back and not put him in the squad. I don't understand. For me, that just sounds like someone that's just desperate for power. And then people never do well. And the way he was shouting on the touchline at Liverpool, at Klopp, like, you're not really that kind of guy. I
you don't have credit in the bank to
do you know
be
what it is?
doing.
I feel like he wants to do well. I feel like he wants to be that guy that the Arsenal fans love. They look at him like he plays good football. He's got this connection with the board to get in the players and make them spend more. But I ultimately just don't think he's going to be that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who do they play? Oh, yeah. Bruv, Brighton only play football when there's 15 minutes left in the match. I swear down, they're the drill specialists. Like, I don't know how they do it. Like we said earlier about Lamptey, absolute baller. Yeah. Welbeck though, the last game, obviously played well. He played well last game, scored, but the game before he was playing so well and he didn't get a goal. I was so happy to see Danny.
Brighton just need a number 9. If they had a prolific number 9, I would be putting them top 8, top 9 teams, 100%. The amount of chances they create
is so good.
Are we overrating how good Graham Potter is? Because everyone says this, yeah, and I think their football's okay. I don't think it's.
No, I think we're possibly underrating him. I think we're underrating him. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
That Cucurella and Lamptey and just all their technicians in the
Cucurella's
middle.
a baller.
Yeah,
I even like Sonny March is a baller as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Potter should eventually, like, I think already he's grown out of the Brighton job in terms of his level, his level as a manager.
I think this would be his last season as well. I agree with you.
To go where though? Why would you leave them? Oh yeah, Everton.
No, I'm saying to go Everton.
Oh,
I think that's a shout.
God.
I think that's a shout.
Why
And they're screaming out for this topic. They're screaming out for an attractive brand of football. I think that's a shout.
But why would he do that to himself though?
But you're saying from a biased perspective, bro. Like the bigger
I'm not
picture.
saying it as a biased perspective. I'm saying like why, like you could go to Everton now, or you could probably wait one more year, have another strong season with Brighton, and then go somewhere else.
well, Conte might walk at Spurs. Yeah.
See that's what Spurs need for me. They need a manager that plays attacking football, because I think what Spurs fans' biggest problem is, of course I don't want to win trophies, but I think they're tired of going in against teams like Chelsea and having 20% possession of the ball.
Yeah,
I don't think they want to go 50-50, but at least give us some sort of opportunity to play our football. I think they need a Graham Potter more say than Everton. I think Everton just needs stability.
What's your thoughts on Leicester quickly? How their season's panned out?
Oh man, do you know what it is? I wouldn't say I'm a Rodgers fanboy, but a lot of people don't rate Brendan Rodgers. I rate Brendan Rodgers. I think they've good teams just had bad seasons. Leicester have been absolutely immense. They've won the FA Cup. They won the Capital One Cup. They've finished in Europe. How many seasons on the Rodgers? This season, yeah, it's been a bad
And
season.
they've had a lot of injuries. Fofana,
Vardy's out right now.
they've had a lot.
Iheanacho,
Justin only
That's
just
why
come back.
Daka was playing. Vardy weren't on the bench.
Yeah, they've had at least 6-7 key injuries to their starting 11.
In and out.
I just think he thinks he's
had an
better than
underrated
what he
season,
is.
Madison. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he's had a very, very strong season. I don't think he's
Very.
gonna
The
get
start he
call-up.
wasn't that good, but the last month or two, when it's the thing is people. The thing is going under. It's being swept under the carpet because he's having good performances, but Leicester aren't winning the game. So people are kind of forgetting how good he's playing right now.
Tielemans is a player as well for Leicester.
I'll take him in the summer. I think he's got like 1 year
See
left.
that he will leave. He will leave. He will
go
leave.
where
That's
though?
why he's not signing. He will leave.
Where will he go though? Because Leicester still got 1 year left. They're asking for at least 40 mil.
Yeah, that's a good.
30
You
mil
have him at
minimum.
us.
I'll take him at us, but I don't think that we need him.
Yeah. We don't.
I
need
think
him,
Chelsea need a midfielder like Tielemans more than Liverpool because
I'll take Rice. I think because
God,
I
I'd take
know
Rice as well.
Abramovich will just say, Tuchel, what do you want? This and yeah, just done it.
Yeah.
Rice there, that's there, that's yours now.
no, I'm a Declan Rice fanboy as well. Where do you guys put before we wrap it up? James Maddison in terms of the other English number 10s. Where are you like the likes of like Mason Mount? I don't really want to
Mount's
include
clear of him. Come on.
Clear, like-
yeah, he is.
No, I rate Mason Mount. I love him.
I would say he's better. I wouldn't say clear. There's not much in it, but I would agree with you, Mount being the
It's
better.
the FA
footballer,
Cup
yeah.
compared to like a Champions League, you know what I mean? Like
I hear you. Yeah, Mount's played at.
What
he's
about
played.
Jack Grealish? Is he better than the two? Is he second or third?
Grealish will come good next season. I don't think him and Sancho they'll come good in their second season. This first season, a lot of pressure. I know they got brought in big money moves, but Grealish and Sancho will have good seasons next season. I'm sure of it.
Okay, all right. Player of the week is for me is Ziyech. Obviously, Derby game. What's funny?
No, I just Chelsea bias, isn't it? I'm Liverpool bias as well. That's
Okay,
why
so
it's so bad.
if that's
It's
his
so
player,
bad.
that's his
Okay,
player.
so who you gonna pick then?
No, Trent, no. Carry on.
And who does he play for?
No, I know.
Yeah.
That's why it's so bad. Like
That's
it's
Ziyech's goal, and I feel sorry for Ziyech as well because like he never settled in too well.
Yeah.
and I want him to push on more. I don't know. For me, Ziyech, that goal, I think that's the best goal of the game week as well.
100%, goal of the weekend, and it's going to give him so much confidence now.
So what did you pick then? And who did you play for? What team?
oh god. I just put me on the spot like this.
Yeah.
I went for Lewis Dunk at Brighton. No, I'm joking. No, Trent Alexander-Arnold, man. Mainly for his performance midweek against Arsenal in that Carabao Cup. A lot of people want to talk about Diogo Jota with 2 goals, but you look at Steven Gerrard, right? When he's in a team and he ain't got the best ballers around him, and his team need to get him into a cup final, he provides either with goals or assists. Trent Alexander-Arnold's doing the same thing, but from right back. Absolutely ridiculous. A brace of assists at the Emirates. And then that ball for Diogo Jota to win the controversial penalty. Do you know what makes the ball so good? He does everything a right back should do. He intercepts the ball first, And then he just plays one bro, that 40 yards, the way the ball bounced as well, is like, the ball was so perfect. So for me, it has to be Trent. Honourable mentions go to, again, Liverpool buys, which is so bad, but Alisson Becker, 4 one-on-one saves.
We lose the game without him. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think West Ham played well. Declan Rice, honourable mention to him as well, because the amount of times I saw him just put his foot on the ball against Man United and say, I'm going to drive and create from number 6.
He's been doing that for the longest now, man. No, the evolution of Declan Rice is just it's amazing. Again, like I love West Ham's model, but can they keep hold of him? I'm not too sure. But my player of the week has to be Salisu from Southampton. Yeah, he was amazing in that centre back position, and without him, City probably win that game. Actually, I'm going to go as far to say City probably batter Southampton. I'm saying a 4-1. Possibly 5-1. He was clearing everything, intercepting everything. That's my player of the week. I'm not going to go for the glitz and glam with the person who scored or assisted. He just put in that
especially
performance.
Against Man City as well. Play like
exactly.
That
against the champions, it's crazy. And that last half an hour, they were relentless. It was wave after wave.
That's the next Virgil van Dijk, man. I'm telling you guys. Not joking.
Salisu's tackle against De Bruyne. I saw this one tackle.
Yeah, when they were on the break. Yeah.
He took the ball off him. Yeah, it was class.
And guys, that's it for this week's press conference hosted by Big Ego Media. You know what to do, people. That lovely stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. That's Big Ego Sports 7, all one word. So that's Big Ego Sports and just the number 7 at the end. And yeah, we'll see you in the comments. Peace out. Good night. God bless.